Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Jana's DIY channel. You learn anything from where to do a beautiful, cheap DIY bedroom makeover to making a puff paint pencil holder. You can check out all my episodes on YouTube on janamakes.com. But today we're going to be talking about classroom makeovers. Oh my gosh, my very favorite thing of all. You've been a student. Well, most of you have been a student, or maybe you are a student, and you've been in those classes with really boring teachers, and you just sit there. Bueller, anyone, those are for the 80s students. You get the point. It's boring. Okay? So, Dobit, Hockett, and Brighton 2016 gave some pretty great examples of teaching strategy makeovers that all turned out pretty fantastic. I'm going to go over those a little bit and talk about why. First tip, all of those strategies focused on curriculum and instruction that was authentic and discipline-based for their content, okay? So first up, we're going to talk about Miss Ball. Her before class, she had to do a unit on Jamestown. Woman just threw in Pocahontas, and then they talked about it. Okay. Then she decided to change it up. So afterward, she reframed her unit all around fiction and nonfiction. How cool is that? They researched the real historical accuracies of Pocahontas, all those kinds of things. They used different media and images to research this. They even wrote songs and did performances on Pocahontas. Then they watched Disney's Pocahontas, okay? And then they discussed the historical accuracies. What's cool about this is in this model, her students began with exploration and then they ended with evaluation. Sounds so much fun. I want to be in that class. Then we have Miss Grant. She was not a huge fan of measurement, okay? So she would just like read a book, how big is a foot? Show a ruler, have kids lay down, measure them, call it good. Wasn't working. So she started thinking about how students actually use measurement in the world. And as a result, she did a project where they measured various things, animals, stuff like that. Then they did a news report on their findings in measurement, which is super cool, okay? Last DIY goes to Miss Holden. Her core standards required that she teach her students about animals and their environments. Again, she'd do that thing where she'd read a book, okay? And then she'd ask students to draw animals in their favorite habitat. She mostly got, and I'm sure you're surprised, cats and dogs. Okay, so she's like, you know what? I need to find a more authentic connection, so we're not always just choosing our pets. So she started talking about adaptations, both humans and animals, and how they adapt to their environment. What's cool about all of these different adaptations is these makeovers included curriculum-based content as mentioned. And then all three of them, okay, this is important for all my teacher friends out there, they all used questioning techniques, okay? This allowed for a lot of different interpretations from students. When you ask them different questions, they have an opportunity to answer them, right? And they're not all going to be the same, which is cool. Also, they used tailored instruction that they adapted or changed as the project went on based on different formative assessments that they did, during the unit. Genius, right? Okay, so a few quick more examples of that. I'm smart, but it's my YouTube channel if you're paying attention. Okay, so Miss Bell, she did this cool thing where she used a T-chart, okay? She had fantasy on one side and fact on the other side. And then the students would get two images. Like, for example, someone would get Roger Rabbit and then a real bunny, or someone would get Shrek, right? And then something real. And then she'd got Disney's Pocahontas and the real Pocahontas, right? And this gave her an idea just on this assessment of who was understanding the differentiation. Genius. Okay, then Miss Grant did a pre-assessment for measurement. That way she knew who needed to explore what types of measurements and who was ahead and needed different types of measurements so she could group students accordingly, right? So good. Then Ms. Holden had a discussion on survival readiness. which was really great. And she talked about that in regard to humans and animals. She gave students a diagram and had them draw a picture of their body and then talk about and label how bodies help them survive, like what parts help you survive to do what. And what's cool about that is she saw a really big gap. There were some kids that were really concept ready and others were not. Therefore, those that weren't, she's like, hey, why don't you stick a little more to the human type of animal? You're ready for a water skier. Like you're ready to go there. And so it gave them flexibility, which is super cool in this DIY makeover, okay? In short, all of these DIYs in your classroom take extra time. They do. The good news is that all three teachers did say, according to the research, as cited previously, that this had a positive impact, not only on the learning, but on the community, right? So in short, if we take a little more time with these units, it's fun. Learning is fun, you guys. It's so fun, okay? So please stay tuned. Come to my YouTube channel next week. I'm going to show you how to blow up an air mattress. Also, the proper way of eating a cupcake, and we're going to discuss what not to say to your in-laws, okay? So thank you for staying tuned to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to Jana's DIY. I'm always willing. You can ask me any questions. Thanks for listening.